Hey there, if you are a mom and if you smoke and if you're feeling that smoking mom guilt that often moms do feel when they smoke, I want you to stop feeling guilty. And I've got three big tips to help you not only stop feeling guilty, but really to start to move towards being a non-smoking mom. My name is Rita Black. I am a mom and I am a clinical hypnotherapist, a smoking cessation specialist, a former pack and a half a day smoker, and I have a program called Smoke Free 123, which is a smoking cessation with hypnosis online program. So, moms of the world, we work so hard. And to add guilt onto any of that, because, hey, look, all moms, to be a mom is to feel guilt, first of all. Totally do. So when we smoke, it just adds to that. And we just need to move beyond that altogether. I work with so many moms in my clinical practice in Los Angeles. And, I have a lot of tears in my office around how bad moms feel that they're hiding outside in the backyard from their kids, or they can't wait for their kids to go to bed at night so that they can go outside and have a glass of wine and smoke. So it's, first of all, you are not alone. There are a lot of smoking moms. Now, here's the thing, that when we go to stop smoking, these are the three mistakes I see moms making. Well, the bigger mistakes I see moms making when they try not to smoke, when they're, attempting to stop smoking. Because a lot of moms will try to quit smoking. They'll come and see me. They'll say, I've tried so many times, but I just keep going back. I must be undisciplined. I must be really weak-willed. And the answer is no. You're a mom. You work really hard, and your brain has hardwired this idea that smoking is your reward and it gives you a break. And so here are the things that we want to alleviate. First of all, the mom guilt. So what I would say is, the sooner you own you're a smoking mom, the sooner that you can become a non-smoking mom. When we feel guilty about stuff, there's this guilty pleasure. And I don't know, maybe you've seen my other video where I talk about secret smoking, because a lot of moms are secret smokers. So there's this secret smoker guilty pleasure. We feel guilty, but we feel so guilty. We feel so bad about ourselves when we don't like feeling bad about ourselves. So there's this point where we let ourselves off the hook and go, oh, screw it. And we let go of all that guilt, and we feel this momentary pleasure. And our brains sort of get addicted into that cycle. So what happens is we feel really guilty. I'm not going to smoke. I'm not going to smoke. I'm not going to smoke. Oh, screw it. I'm going to smoke. And it's sort of a release that that people sort of get addicted to. So what you want to do instead is just own, you work hard. You've got kids. And if you've got young kids, you're working 3 times as hard. I have 2 kids. They're older now, and that's its own job. Teenagers are their own job, but when you got little ones running around the house, they are exhausting, and you are always on. And if you work and are a mom of, a couple of kids and everything, you are on from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to bed. And that is just the truth of the matter, right? So what you want to do is not feel guilty about smoking. Just own being a smoking mom, because that will then alleviate the guilty pleasure syndrome. And you can just own the smoking, because once you start owning the smoking, we quickly start to get really clear that smoking isn't really bringing us a lot of value. But this guilty pleasure thing really keeps us from really getting present to the, how smoking really does not it's not the answer for us, and it doesn't really serve us, right? So the more we have the guilt, the more we get, we stay in that perpetual, like, we don't really see it. It's just like, it's so bad. It's bad and it's good and it's bad and it's good. And we don't really kind of recognize, like, oh, it's just this thing that just is kind of gross and not serving me anymore. So we want to alleviate the mom guilt. Now, the second thing is to recognize, here, I'm going to bring out the picture of Junior here. Here's little Junior here, sweet, sweet little child, right? That children, we love them. I love my children. I'd give my life for my children. My children are annoying sometimes, right? Children, and especially small children, they're loud. You always need to watch them, and they can be very annoying. I'm just going to say it so you don't have to. So this little, mom, can I have this? Can I have that? I got to do my homework, blah, blah, blah. I don't want it, wah, 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 right? You know what? Or the bratty teenager, like, what? Good. I don't want to do the chores, whatever, right? So when we have Junior over here, what we want to do as a mom, when we're around Junior all the time, is we want to escape. We want to get the heck away from Junior. And see, children are very stimulating to our brain. And again, if you work, or even if you're just like taking care of a household, which is, believe me, it's work, there's all this stimulation that's going on in your brain all day. So when you go outside and you smoke a cigarette, like if you park your kids somewhere, or in your house, like they're taking care of themselves, and you sneak outside and smoke a cigarette, or go to some bathroom that they don't ever go into and smoke a cigarette, what's happening in your brain is you're getting 5 to 10 minutes of no one and nothing that your brain kind of needs. So your brain will bug you for a cigarette, not because you want a cigarette, but because you kind of need a break from your kids. And as a mom, we have this guilt about, like, well, why would I want to escape from my kids? Why would I want to take a break from my kids? That's not cool, right? Well, it actually is cool. You need little breaks from your kids, or they will overstimulate you. And so what people do when they try not to smoke is they take all those little escapes that they had been giving themselves, and now they're with their kids all the time. And now Junior is noisy and blah, 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 and you have no escape hatch. And guess what you do? You start to pine away for the cigarette, not for the cigarette, but because you want to give Junior a little rest for 10 minutes. I've got in my bathroom, I'll just tell you about my secret mom moments. I've got a stash of magazines that I just will go in the bathroom, I will shut the door, and I will have my guilty pleasure, which is, chilling out away from my children, or I will go in my office, or I will go sit outside with a cup of tea and just say, love you kids, but I'm going to have a mommy moment, right? So that's important. Now, the other one is the mommy reward, right? We work very hard all day. We tell them the nighttime stories, or we finally, our kids are finally off to bed, and we know they're like asleep and they're not going to catch us. And then we will grab our cigarettes, and we'll go outside and have a little glass of wine or a cup of tea, or just sit there with our cigarettes and be on our phone and smoke. And in our mind, again, that is a reward. Job well done. They're not going to bug me now. I can just chill out. And this is my time. It's the Calgon moment. I can unlet my hair down and just like woohoo. And if your husband smokes, you guys sit together and chit chat about the day or whatever. Or, if you have the neighbor or whatever, you're unplugging, and your brain sees it like that. So when you try not to smoke and you're like, well, I'm just going to get the dishes done, and I'm going to clean out the cupboards, and I'm going to, move on to all my tasks and chores, then you're taking away that primo reward time that all of us mothers absolutely adore and enjoy. But when we're trying not to smoke, we're like, well, I can't sit down after my kids have gone to bed because I'm going to think of a cigarette. No, lots of non-smokers, believe me, they chill out after their kids go to bed. You can just chill out as a non-smoker. You got to give yourselves those reward times and those breaks from your kids throughout the day as a non-smoker. Okay, moms of the world, unite. You can become a non-smoker. I believe in you. It's just about getting really clear about who you are, which is you are a mom in transition, becoming a non-smoker, believing in yourself, and really recognizing that you do need, women have a really hard time taking, like those breaks and giving themselves permission to stop. You've got to start taking some self-care, and that self-care does not happen around a cigarette. That self-care starts with you from within, and you're a brilliant woman. You will come up with many other ways of taking care of yourself rather than smoking. Okay? I believe in you. I know you can do this. And so take away that guilt. Just get ready to stop smoking and just smoke as much as you need to be done. Start to really give yourself breaks from your kids, and if you can, and you can make that time because you've made that time to sneak away and smoke, and then really give yourself some reward time at the end of the day. Okay? All right. I hope you have a fantastic day and a fantastic evening. Love your children, but get away from them too when you need to. Okay. Take care.